There, I made it.
Hey, welcome.
Without my son, I made it. Wow, that's crazy.
You're a big boy now.
Wow, yeah, he's busy. Something about it. I don't know. Hey, we're here. Oh yeah, we're live. Welcome to the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. As always, you never know who's going to show up. Today, Jake Cherski is back here, and our friend Jay Peckham will join us after the next period. But welcome back, Jake.
Hey, thank you.
Have you been following along? Have you been able to keep up?
I've been trying. It's been hard, but I've been trying, and a lot of close games, right?
Well, we'll go back to yesterday, final score 6-3 there, but it was close in the beginning, I have to say, for the Sarnia Sting. And really, and I was just talking to, you get to talk to the other guys that are up in the booth there, get a different perspective from a lot of different people, and they were like, we played really well in the second period. I don't know, what is it about our second period, Jake?
It is what it is.
It's always that way, but it seems to be our favorite anyway. But when we missed the puck, Saginaw was there to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, that just comes down to work ethic and compete level, right? The better teams in the league are the teams that can capitalize. London Knights, speaking of them, they're here today. So London Knights have been known to capitalize on everybody else's mistakes. They don't necessarily play a better game all the time, but they just know when to capitalize and when to pounce on that open puck or loose puck. And able to drain it because they always got quality guys.
Right. We did a post game with Ben Gaudreau yesterday. He's a phenomenal goalie, phenomenal. Maybe he's a great goalie he's been done well for the Sarnia Sting. Ethan Langevin also, who will start between the pipes tonight for the Sting. But in interviewing him post game, we talked about the confidence thing because Darian Hatcher brought that up last week in an interview, and you could kind of sense it coming from Ben that, the confidence is low. How at this point, when your confidence is low, putting the chicken before the egg, because you got to have it, how do you get the confidence up right now?
I think it's just a matter of, support from a coaching staff point of view. It's, the more you support him, just let him know that it's not all his fault. And I think just remind him, he came out of a hockey where he was the man. Right. I mean, if you're going to go in the first round, you're a goalie in the OHL draft. Obviously, you were stellar. You were probably close to excellent where you were playing before. He's had some national attention as well. So I think it's just a matter of letting him know that it's not just him, and staying on his side and supporting where he needs the help, and just let him know to keep driving ahead and do his thing. And
and to expand on that, I was more referring to the team in general, the confidence being low. But yeah, I mean, you see a look on his face if you watch the interview, and it was a great interview, but you don't know whether he's frustrated with himself or frustrated with it. You could just kind of, you see your buddy and he's kind of down, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of sense that. And you really got a feel for him because of what you're saying, what he's come from. And then we talk about Ryan McGregor as well, who's a great leader on this team. And you got to be frustrating right now.
Absolutely, it has to be. But it's you got to finish out the season. You got to start preparing for next year. Every loss is another step away from making the playoffs. Well, obviously, they want to make the playoffs to see if they can make some noise in the playoffs. But at this point, I mean, you got to take every game for itself and not worry about where you're going to end up at this point, and just keep trying to learn and keep striving, because at the end of the day, if you don't make the playoffs, okay, you got 68 games experience. That's what it's 68 games experience.
Right.
You kind of maybe want another 14 games or something like that, especially a playoff hockey. So it's time for the vets to kind of pick up and, stop gripping their sticks too tight, stop trying to be fancy. Let's just fire pucks at the net, get some rebounds, and go to good old-fashioned hockey, and let's just have fun with it. And and they're coming up against a lot of tough teams right now. Well, Saginaw yesterday, I honestly thought they played pretty decent against Saginaw, considering where Saginaw sits in all of this. They're third overall, I think, and first in there. So I think the results could have been a whole lot worse against a team like Saginaw. Absolutely, and we all know that. I mean, when the Sting are up against top-rated, top-seeded teams, they always bring their A game, and they play hard. And you get one of those bottom feeder teams, and all of a sudden they crap the bed sometimes. And you always play. In any game, any sport, though, you usually play to the level of your opponent, and the better teams come out with those wins.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup here. Sam Bitten, Theo Hill, and Braden Guy Here's a line that we were talking about the other day as well, especially Sam Bitton and Theo Hill yesterday. We're really working well together out there and created some opportunities. It's, with Jacob Burrows having being off, he's back today, I believe.
Yeah.
Jamison Reese, still a few more games to go. Do you think having Burrows back out there today is going to, kind of put a stranglehold on some things and grip down, or would you just count on him too much?
You know what? It's a may or may not answer, really,
right,
because
yeah.
now all of a sudden,
no pressure, Jacob.
yeah, with coming back now, we got to shuffle the lines again just when guys are getting comfortable, and I think that's been a big burden through injury and suspensions all year with the Sting. They can't get a flow. They can't get, hey, these 3 lines or 4 lines are working together. We're not going to vary from it unless someone's having a bad day.
Right.
But next game it's going to be line. And that's got to be maddening for the coaches. I wouldn't know what to do if I was in their position. And, you read all this stuff on social media and whatnot, and it's like I pull my hair out because I would like half these people that have all these comments try coaching one game and let
Jay
alone
Peckham.
and let alone doing a whole season and going through practices and whatnot with all those different egos and characters, and it's just got to be maddening for them.
Absolutely. Nolan Dillingham and Eric Yort will be out there as well, and as we mentioned, Ethan Langevin will be between the pipes. Kelton Hatcher is also somebody that's off, and I'm hearing for 2 or 3 more weeks. Sounds like a broken thumb from the big fight that he had here last week. A good defenseman, but not the world's greatest defenseman, but he's a good defenseman for this team. And I think just his presence out on that rink makes a difference, knowing, oh, hey, that Kelton Hatcher guy's not there today. Or do you?
Yeah, no, definitely. If I'm a forward on the London Knights and I know that Kelton's not out there, I know that I might take some extra liberties. I might be able to push the puck a little bit myself instead of worrying about that big blockbuster hit that's going to come from out of nowhere. His hits, Kelton's, it reminds me of back in the day with Ryan Wilson being here, and Ryan would come out of nowhere and just cremate people, and he probably wouldn't have had an OHL career. His hits were clean, they were safe, but the way they throw around suspensions in the OHL anymore, he probably wouldn't have played his last season because of suspensions all the time.
You mentioned him before, so that's
a
good example for you.
No, he's I love watching Kelton out there because it does add that edge, and who else is going to step up, and that'll be interesting to see. We do have some players that will step up,
sure.
And hopefully they can and bring that physicality back, and hey, if not, let's bang them up if we're not going to win.
There you go. Well, we'll see what happens if they turn things around here today. We're really hoping. We'll go to the comments out here on our Facebook. Kelly Shoddy says they're on a streak and not a good one, so let's break it. Good plan there, Kelly. Jesse says, hey, Jake and Dave. Jesse, you're a great loyal follower. Appreciate that. You too, Kelly. And having audio issues. Yes, we had some static fixed. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. But see, that's what happens when Jason's not here. I mess things up.
Well, I think you're doing a heck of a job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You got a great co-host today, so your recruiting's doing well.
Jay Peckham, look out. Danny, I'm surprised is Danny going to pipe in there and say something?
Not yet.
Kelly said, seen a photo of that fight matchup. Look up, way up. Yeah, well, actually I was talking to a couple of the gentlemen that are beside us here. We're in the penalty box with that fight of Kelton Hatcher and Douglas. I forget his first name from us.
Douglas Fern.
Douglas. Yeah. What? I've lost control. He's like 6'9", and Hatcher's like 6'3".
Yeah.
So he's looking at. We've been saying we had to look up at his nostrils too.
Well, you know what?
Take him out. And Kelton hits with his left. I didn't notice that too.
However tall he is, he hit something hard enough to hurt his thumb or hand. So.
Well, he took the guy's helmet off for him.
Yeah. Thank you. And without getting the additional penalty.
Right.
So that can only come one way, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we'll see what happens here. I mean, they are running out of time. They've got to start doing something here. We've got to get that streak going. Aaron says, go Sting, go. I missed the...
Marco Caprera days.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, my gosh. Marco Caprera. 5'8", a fireball. He would fight anybody. He was the best middleweight, heavyweight in the league.
Right?
Marco had over 300 penalty minutes 1 year. And you know what? He was always feared in the league, I think. And everybody wanted to go him, and it was always a mistake. So
Right.
I love Marco,
Okay.
and
That
he
was
would be
before my time,
yeah,
obviously.
he would be one of my all-time faves.
All right, well, let's see what they can do here tonight. I know you like to see a good scrap out there, but let's just play some hockey tonight, get them back into the win column here. About 4 or 5 minutes away from the Sting coming out on the ice. Keep following along. And if you're watching this as a replay, share your comments. We'll do our best to answer them. We'll be back live again at the end of the first period. Jay Peckham will join me, and then Jake Cherski will return for that. Thanks, Jake. Good to have you back. Enjoy.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks, Em, for the...
Oh, yeah, give her a shout-out. She found this. This is, like, so cool, right?
It is.
It's not even a Sting thing, but it is.
No, but it is, and thanks for the scarf.
That's cool. All right, there you go. Scarves and all, the Sarnia Sting ready to take on the London Knights. Let's see if they can get back into the win column. For the show live on location, I'm David Burrows and my good friend Jake Cherski. We will talk to you soon.